Good anytime, my fuzzies, and welcome to a quick review of Ash vs. Evil Dead, Season 2. As always for these reviews, especially for the movie, since it's a TV show slash movie type of thing, I kind of talk about my own experience with it. Some plot points being the story setting, characters, special effects, considering it's a movie or show, and the legacy since it's a long-standing franchise. I give what I like about it, what other people might like if they like it, and just stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's get into it in Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2. Well, it brought everything from the first one and more, giving us a incredible villain in Ball, Ruby switching sides, and just a lot of slaughter along the way. And Ashley Slashy. We got the little puppet that I wish I had. I really wish I had that. But overall with the season, it just added more good stuff. The story continued in a nice, organic way. And it ended in a way that I really want to see what happens next. And we will later. But, so, really good. If you haven't seen Season 1 or 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead and you're just watching this review, go watch them first. They are really a treat. Just be old enough too, because they are very, very gory and, for some reason, random nudity. It's the one thing that I still like. The human body is natural and everything. It should not be felt as disgusting or whatnot. It's a natural thing, a natural part of life. But when you're using it in a show and it's just randomly there without any real, I think the only time in this whole show and movie franchise where it has been yeah, okay, I get it, is in either the Playboy magazines you see every once in a while and whatnot, because, yeah, if that's on a guy, you're going to see that stuff from that stuff. You can make your own judgments on stuff like that. Or in the morgue when he was opened the one thing and saw the one dead girl. Weird, but I get why that you would see it. Because if you see blood and gore, you might as well see nudity too. But a lot of the other stuff was, just there for whatever appeal? I don't know. Either way, let's get into it with the story. So, the story of Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2 takes place sometime after the events of Season 1, with Ash, Pablo, and Kelly. Pedro? Or Pablo? For some reason I can't get the name right. Pablo. It is Pablo. With Pablo and Kelly in Jonestown when they were attacked by Deadites out of nowhere, breaking the agreement Ash had with Ruby to let all three of them go in Jacksonville, else she took the world. When they track her down, they find out that she may or may not be being attacked by her own children who want the book to summon their father, who's a real bad dude. After agreeing some very, very harsh shenanigans getting the book back and whatnot, they end up sending the book back to hell, which I guess summons Ball, the father of the children who are now all dead, to the world, and Pablo is now being turned into the book with markings on him. But through more shenanigans, watch the series. I'm not going to go through it. I'm just going over the big stuff, the series. You'll get it. So the shenanigans, they manage to get Ball, the demon father, whoever, Ball, and Pedro, being the Necronomicon, in the same room to try and banish him. Unfortunately, with the banishment, Pablo dies from it. So, in a drug-infused craze, Ash is led to believe that going back in time to before he picked up the book would be a good idea to stop that. But in doing so, he finds out that, hey, Pablo was actually... Ball had just hidden in Pablo's dead body, wreaking havoc after making a deal to be banished if Ash beats him in a duel, and cheating from him. Ash finally wins. The agreement's set upon. Ball and past Ruby are sent back into wherever they came from with their children, as Ash, Pablo, and Kelly are sent back to their normal time, I guess, where they are celebrated as heroes. But 80s Ruby may not be gone, and someone else has found the Necronomicon. So, what could possibly go wrong? Overall, for the story, it feels good. It feels right to continue it like this. You add a new villain into the mix. Ruby goes from just some random evil person to someone you can work with and kind of learn about, and whatnot. And overall, I enjoyed it. It was a good tale. A lot of blood, a lot of gore, but pretty good. Enjoyable. We'll watch again, probably, in the future. After that, you have the characters, being Ash, of course, Pablo and Kelly, but now you have Ruby as a reoccurring character. Ball comes in halfway through, and then you have minor characters like the sheriff, the sheriff's daughter, the sheriff's wife, who I think has the same name as Ash's girlfriend from the first movie. I'm not 100% sure on that. And then his friend, Chet. And overall, so a lot more characters, but a lot of them die. Of course they do. Because that's how these movies go. But with Ash, he kind of continues on with his smart enough to do some things, but dumb enough not to understand other things. Dealings where he's able to get the upper hand just by sheer dumb luck, I guess. It's still Ash. They, I think, toned down his sexual harassment quite a lot, though there's still a bunch there. And his casual racism, which is never okay. But, yeah. Overall, it's Ash. If you liked Ash before, in Season 1, it's just him, but more of them, with more insults and whatnot. Pablo goes through some transformation, getting more and more confident in who he is, turning into the book, and then dying. So it was neat to see him used in that way, where even though he got rid of the book, sent it back to hell, it's still connected to him, so he was starting to become the book. I don't know if it's because the world still needed a book, and you can't just get rid of it like that, or what, but that's what my headcanon is, that the book can never actually be thrown out. It is always with you. But yeah, besides that, you have Kelly, who just kind of gets more of her arc is more, you should do your own thing, be your own boss and whatnot, kind of thing, where she gets somewhat tougher, trying to figure out what that means to be her own boss and take things into her own hands. Not much to say about her, unfortunately. Still a badass, getting better as it all goes. I like her character, but again, nothing really happened with her as much as Pablo. With Ruby, starting from the last season where she got her kids back, made the deal, and was seen as the big bad, turning out, no, there's someone even worse out there than her. And she's learned that, yeah, maybe taking over the world isn't a good thing, and maybe Ash isn't that bad of a person. But again, a lot of her characteristics are just badassery, trying to get it done, get the book back so that she can not have her husband, I don't know, come back, and whatnot. And then also you had in this, the sheriff, who was against Ash because Ash bullied him. Bullying's never okay. He was kind of just a prick the whole time, holding a grudge and not letting it go, and sided with the enemy to his death. His daughter, unfortunately, seemed nice. Not much more to say about her. We don't really get to see her alone, besides panicking when being possessed and not wanting Pablo to get hurt. Kind of just there. A nice character. Enjoyed her character, but again, just kind of means to an end. Linda, who is the sheriff's wife, ex-wife, I guess, and the mom, again, was kind of just a thing for Ash to have his eyes set upon. Which, even Season 1, you had Amanda, who also was there just to have his eyes set upon, I felt like. So she's a mother and married. That's about it. Not much more. A means to an end, really. Someone for him to be with and have taken away from him probably in season 3, which I haven't seen, so we'll find out. But besides that, you have Brock Williams, who is Ash's dad, who is just like Ash, if not a little bit more creepy and weirder. But yeah, you see words from Ash, who didn't believe him about the Deadites. In the end, he does. And when they're about to talk about something important, which had to do with realms and crossing over, I think we'll get that in season 3, he was taken out prematurely. And then the biggest bad of this whole season is, you have Chet. Chet, who is his best friend, ride or die. Again, it's more of just a bro guy who just does whatever. Kind of there to help out Ash, but a lot of these characters you could take out or swap them around with other things and it wouldn't change much. But his ride or die gets some more insight a little bit into his past. Fine. Again, means to an end for a lot of this stuff. More things for Ash to care about before it's terribly ripped from him. And then you have Ball, who is the demon father lord guy, who has the ability to cut people open and take their skin to blend into anything he wants. So Among Us. Before Among Us came out, I believe. And he's a good manipulator, which you kind of see, and then it kind of goes away. Oh. It seems a lot of these movies, and a lot of movies in general, play fast and loose with a lot of rules that are very overpowered, to where it's like, sometimes he's a good manipulator, other times he doesn't use that power. You'd think he'd do better. But either way, overall, a great villain. I loved his design. I love his ability and whatnot. It added into a good episode that he came into it with. Beautiful episode where they had to figure out if one of them was Ball and they all went after each other. Really good. I liked him. Good actor and whatnot. Did some great things with the insane asylum, trying to break down Ash and giving him Ashy Slashy. The best thing to come out of this series. Yeah, which I am curious if that's just because they took the place, that's what they went with, or how he manipulated other people. I would like a deep dive into that. That might be something to look into later. Besides that, that's kind of all the characters. Again, a lot of them are means to an end, or just there for specific roles, and that's it. Ruby was good as a hero this time, going against her children. Ball was amazing. I liked him a lot in his manipulative ways and what he did to further the plot along. Ash, Kelly, and Pablo did the job they were supposed to do. Ash is Ash. Pablo becoming the book and whatnot. Kelly, it seems like in season 3 she'll be going on her own way, possibly. But we'll see. And just overall with the characters in this, a lot of them are means to an end. Just a body to be slaughtered in different ways to make you care about them and then take them away. Or learn some weird things for comedy's sake. Which is not okay. But all in all, pretty fun for the characters. It's all cheesy stuff, but it's really well done cheesy stuff. Especially with the characters to get you just enough to get going and care about something before it's ripped away. Besides that, you have the setting. Starting in Jacksonville, and then going back and primarily staying in Ash's hometown this time, which you visit like a old factory, an insane asylum, back to the cabin, all that good stuff. Ash's house, a bar, I guess a university area. Pretty good stuff. All in all means to an end. Not as much variety there's still a lot of variety in this one as the last one. But it all did well. It gave you some good areas for stuff to go on in. Some high-end drama in certain areas, like Ash's house with the standoff, or the police station with the Among Us episode, which again, this came up before Among Us. And he wasn't even in the room. I love that too. They're like, oh, he could be any one of us up here. But no, he was in the basement the whole time. But besides that, yeah. Areas are a means to an end. Beautiful areas. Well done. They always do a good job on the settings and whatnot in these movies and games to make it really feel natural. That's why I like it. That and all the killing and over the top, well, gore I could do without. But it's really creative what they do, especially the morgue scene, which I think I'll skip it next time. As great as it was and inventive, it's not for the faint of heart. But besides that, we go into the special effects, which, once again, phenomenal special effects. Everything felt a lot of it felt real, it looked good, it fit with what was going on, there was a lot of blood, gore, a lot of interesting deaths. We got Ashy Slashy, which I will get a puppet one day, and I will wear it. Maybe in the future when I do another Ash costume, a better Ash costume than I'm wearing now, with my chainsaw, gun, and axe, I'll have Ashy Slashy instead of a chainsaw. Wouldn't that be fun? All in all, really good with the special effects. Everything looked very nice. Sometimes you kind of got like, yeah, I can see why this is a green screen, this doesn't really work, but it's all in the name of fun, and it was fun. Gory fun. A lot of nudity that could have completely been written out and you wouldn't miss anything, but creative nonetheless. And as everything goes on with Legacy, again, it's just a good continuation of the series. It keeps Ash who he is, fighting for the side of good, even though he knows it's tough. Ash made some stupid decisions, like going into the bar and just expecting things to go well. Like, you're going back to the town where everyone thought you were a serial killer. Think. But yeah. Overall, for Legacy, it fits. I can see this where the direction of Ash goes 30 years after everything, and however long after the first organing of the Jonestown. But yeah, overall, good Legacy. If you want Ash versus Evil, if you want Ash fighting Deadites, this is exactly what you want for more of it. Just good old blood, guts, and gore, and random nudity for nudity's sake, I guess. But with all that, all in all, like I said, the story is great. I liked how it flowed and weaved, adding in a new character. The characters, a lot of them are means to an end. Pablo had some interesting stuff. Kelly, I really want to see where they're going with her. She should be on her own, be her own leader and whatnot. Ruby is gone, so not much there. And we'll see whatever happens next, because it left on a good closer. And we'll see how Season 3 wraps all that up and adds even more. Again, the settings were really good. The special effects are phenomenal. If you like Ash, the Evil Dead movies and whatnot, this feels like a good modern interpretation of what it continues on with the story, the special effects, the characters. Just really good. All in all good. But either way, this is where I'm going to leave it. So I'm going to thank you all my fuzzyheads for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Sometime in the future, I will be back for Season 3. Probably next week if you're watching me on Twitch. YouTube, probably tomorrow. But either way, thank you my fuzzies for watching. I'm going to bed. It's very, very late. And I'll see you next anytime. Take care.